one.
Boss. Hello, boss babe.
Hi.
Cheers. Cheers with the wrong thing.
So,
Nobody took it.
we are actually today taking a shot before we even start talking because we had a hot topic today.
Hot topic.
So, let's do a shot real quick. Really? Cheers.
The whole
1, 2,
thing?
3. Not the whole thing, but ready? One sip.
Cheers.
1, 2, 3. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh, our bartender.
Ooh.
I don't know who made
Whoa,
this.
I
He's
shot.
trying to fuck us up.
We need a new bartender for sure.
Anyway, welcome to our podcast. Today we have a hot topic for you guys, and we are excited because we have a guest. So let me introduce myself. My name is Gabby. Welcome to the Boss Babes in Real Estate podcast, and I'm going to let these Boss Babes introduce themselves, starting with our guest today.
Hi, thank you guys for having me
Thank you
today.
for having us.
My name is Bana Fakori. Came from Miami. I'm teaching my class tomorrow, the Not Your Average Degeneration class.
Yes.
Very excited. I also have been going out with the girls, experiencing the Orlando nightlife, which is actually really fun. Having a good time so far.
And the market too.
I know. Yesterday we saw some multi-million-dollar property.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Totally loved it. Orlando's really growing. I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm Stephanie Martinez.
Lily Vet, Elvie the Realtor. You know I gotta say
I
that.
was like,
Add her on the ground.
She has to. EC Sarcos.
And okay, so let's get into it, you girls. So the topic for today is dating a boss babe. What is it like to date a boss babe?
It ain't easy. It ain't
If you
easy.
can actually get
Point it
to
down,
that.
right?
Do that again.
I
Yeah.
know. So we're going to talk a little bit about like the challenges that we have faced in relationships, the success that we've had, what works when we are in a happy relationship and have a supportive partner. So what is really a boss babe looking for? What is the partner that she wants? So I think it's different for everybody, but especially for women that are entrepreneurs, it's much harder and difficult because you need a supportive partner that's going to understand your lifestyle, your career, and what you want, right?
Absolutely. Support without the insecurity.
Right.
I think to me that's my biggest hurdle is that they just get so insecure all of a sudden. At first they're like, Vanna, you got this, love you, it's all good, conquer the day. And then 2 months into it, it's just like, well, why are you doing that? But I'm here. Well, why are you going like that? But don't you have to do this? I'm just like, listen, take a step back. You know, I think being laid back is an incredible feature for a man to have, especially for a boss babe too.
And you mentioned being secure. That's such an important key
Yeah.
or like trait for a man to have because, especially for us, we have to be out there networking a lot. It's part of our job, right?
Yep.
We have to meet clients. We have to network. We have to go to events. We have to. So our life is very social. So if you have a partner who's not supportive or secure, or at least if they're not like that, but they understand that's part of your job.
Yeah.
To be supportive and not be like, oh, but what are you doing? You know, like you're getting jealous or getting like those type of things are just
Right.
such a turn off for us. I think
Yeah.
in general.
And like I said, I'm a big believer that people can change. So if somebody's insecure, you can definitely help them by communicating better,
Yeah.
building that trust, make them understand your career instead of being like, oh, well, you're just insecure, right? You need to like communicate better.
I understand that. Yeah.
Right?
But to a certain extent.
Yeah, to a
Some
certain
people,
extent.
they just gotta go to therapy or talk
Oh,
it
yeah,
out.
that's
with
so-
That's what I said. That's what I said.
It's down to like compatibility. I think that as a boss babe, you should also be a boss of like who you're picking. It's not just anybody. It's not just whoever shows you interest. It's who's actually going to be a good match for you in that sense. Communication.
So tell me what has been like some of the biggest issues for you dating? Like what do you find that it's like as a independent woman, like what has been some of the issues that you encountered in your
Well, I
relationship?
think just lately, I think it was because I'm just so focused on my priorities.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not focused on dating. I'm not looking for anybody. So people are like, I don't know if you're even interested in me. And I'm like, I'm probably not. Like, I probably am. I probably
Not,
am
the answer is
interested.
no.
Yeah, she's definitely not
But I'm
interested.
like,
Red.
you know, I'm just like, I'm not even thinking about that. So I guess, like, since I'm not dating, I think just people will find me like hard to kind of gauge if I'm interested in
But when
them
you
or
have
not.
been in a relationship, let's say, and it didn't work out, why, as in that sense of you being an independent woman or like a woman that works, what do you think has been like some of the biggest issues that you encounter when you are in a relationship, or you have been in a relationship?
I think definitely the insecurity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think for sure, like, it goes back to, like, right now, being single is, like, really good for my business because I don't have to worry about sharing my time with anybody. So I get to do as I please. So if I want to spend all day long working, there's nobody who's like, when are you going to cook? Or, like, when are we going to spend time together? And I'm just like, I do what I want, whatever.
But then that comes with finding somebody that's supportive.
Right.
Because you want to find somebody that, okay, let's build you up, let's do this together, let's grow together, instead of what are you doing? Like, where are
Exactly.
you going?
Yeah.
So it's finding the right person that is not insecure
And
and,
I-
understands.
And I think that for me, I'm
So
like,
it's not about being single,
Yeah.
though.
but well, I'm at the point where I'm like,
good point.
I'm at the point where I'm just kind of like, if it's, I'm not looking for somebody because like you really have to prove that you're
You're
gonna,
amazing.
yeah,
You're
you'd
amazing.
have to really be
You're
like,
not worthy.
yeah, like
Yeah.
stand out, prove it somehow because I'm just not I'm not looking for anybody, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go and try and find it. I'm not gonna raise anybody and teach them how to like
No.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
get it. You don't have to worry about that person, but I don't want you to think that because being single, that's going to help you grow your career. You can find an amazing partner that's going to help you
Even grow
Yeah,
even better.
definitely.
Yeah.
But
Invest
that's,
in
like,
you.
the
and,
exception.
you know? Yeah.
It's the exception, it's not every single guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, of course,
absolutely,
of course,
absolutely,
of course, of course.
absolutely. Yeah.
So what are some of the issues you guys have encountered?
Well,
Where do we start?
Let me pull the list out.
hold on, back on page 47.
47.
For me, I think trust, not understanding really what our business involves. Being insecure, it was a big thing.
Back to that. Yeah.
I think communication. I mean, like just understanding where we are from the beginning, and then building from there. I think that probably was like has been my biggest mistake, not setting the expectation.
Yes.
You know. And
The
especially-
list, the list.
The list. I don't have a list, but I better create
This
one.
is the standard, and none of this is acceptable. Only this, right?
Yeah.
And then sticking to that.
And realistically, you know, you want to find somebody that's going to feed your soul, right? And, you know, life is about growth and growing together. And if you don't have somebody that really, like, supports you or believes in you or trusts you, then where can you really go from there?
Yeah, I will say my biggest challenge has been definitely trust. But I cannot, like, when we talk about relationships, a lot of people tend to talk about the other person.
Yes.
But it's two ways.
Yeah, of
right?
course.
Absolutely.
So trust for me is also how I can have him trust me. Like, what can I do to make him trust
Nurture
me?
that trust.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not about I'm not trusting him, he's not trusting. It has to be together. Like, I have to find a way for him to trust me, and I trust him, right?
Yeah.
So relationship goes both ways. You
Yeah.
can't always blame it on the other person.
So
To me, I feel like, well, I mean, now that you guys have spoken, let me take my piece. No, to me, I think one of the biggest things for me is really just finding that somebody that like really meets the criteria of not like we were saying, like, jokingly, we have a list. No, I don't really have a specific list, even though we should probably have a list.
We sort of have a list.
We always
We're
joke
kinda
that
like check-
Gabby
you know-
needs somebody, and she's like grabs like. Wait,
I know,
one
I do have
second.
an assessment though, because that's
Oh,
another thing that we
the
check.
assessment.
I
The
have an
assessment.
assessment because I think that most women fail in the beginning stages of a relationship because you get so carried away on attraction, on whatever,
Attention.
benefits,
Yeah.
attention, and
Like
not being
pure
alone. So
attention.
you want to end a relationship so bad that you ignore all the red flags,
Yeah.
right? So you are blind that you're like, no, but maybe probably, like, if I keep dating him, he probably changed this, he probably changed that. No. And there are certain things, like Izzy said, that men could change, little things here and there, but there are big things that really matter and that you should actually discuss with that person, not in date one, you know, but like in the dating stages, because then you see if your goals match this person's goals.
Yeah.
And if they
also,
don't
yeah.
match,
Mhm.
don't waste your time. For example, marriage. If you want to get married, the other person don't want to get married, big no.
Mhm.
If you want to have kids, the other person don't want to have kids, big no. Like, so there's like things that are like there that you want to ignore, like, but no, they're big and they're gonna be a big issue later on. And guess
Right.
what?
Right.
Later on, you're gonna be vested in that relationship. You're like, oh my god, now I was with
Then you
this
get
guy.
trapped.
Yeah,
I always say men have
You know?
time. Like they
They
have
have
time. They have babies
time.
until they're 80 years old.
especially
Yeah.
if they don't want commitment.
I mean,
Yeah.
They'll keep
we
you
have
there
to give
forever.
ourselves time too, and I think that that's huge. Is like, as a woman, I feel like girls, like, why would we have to tell a girl like, don't start talking about this on date one? Like, you have to date somebody. You have to like just take your time. It's not like, oh, he's cute, he's funny, I pick him. Like, girl, there's so many guys out there. You can't pick the first one that you hung out with just once.
Let
Like,
me see if
No.
I even want to be your
No.
friend. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You might
Give
contact me.
yourself
Yeah.
the time. So a lot of girls also have the thing of like they don't like to be alone. They like to be in relationships, right? So you miss those steps. You know that they're really crucial steps for a good relationship.
exactly.
I'd rather honestly be by myself than be in a bad relationship
Exactly.
because I've been there before and
Yeah,
I learned.
we
Now I'm
get
at a
it.
stage which probably we have a broad audience. You probably are from 21 to your 30s or 40s listening right now.
Yeah.
But we are in our early 30s. So for me, I learned the mistakes that I made when I was 20, and now I don't have really time to be wasting. You know, like I want something serious or something. I have my goals. Like I need somebody that's mentally compatible with me.
Exactly.
That's also here, and it's also you're like, oh, but it doesn't mean that you will not date a regular guy that has a 9 to 5. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's more of a mentality to me. So if you have been successful in what you do, you understand where I'm coming from. If you have not experienced that, I don't have time to pull you up here because you're gonna hold me back.
Yep.
So I want somebody that's like right here or here that can actually help me, not the other way around because like that has been such a setback, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that
Yeah, I think it's important to be on the same wavelength, right?
Mhm.
If I've experienced, and I've experienced really a lot, so if you have not done so, perhaps I can show you what are some different kind of mentalities. Because if I talk about something, you think I'm bragging, but really I'm not bragging. I'm just kind of talking
I'm used
about
to
it.
this.
My biggest hurdle is I just enjoy my solitude so much that if you don't make it better, make me happier, the life better, doing new things, new experiences, there's no reason for you to be here. You know, for you to be so insecure and think I'm bragging. It's not that I'm bragging. It's that I like going out, Italy for the summer. Like that's just what I like to do. It's fine
Yeah.
if you don't, or perhaps you want to do that with me. We can do it together. But then sometimes the insecurity comes into play, and
Do you think that insecurity comes because they're intimidated?
I do
A
think
lot
so,
of times,
you know,
a lot
Yeah.
of times they
I
are
think-
intimidated.
and
I
some-
think it's more like, what if I fail? What if I can't do that? Or
No, I
whatever.
think it's just intimidated. They're just intimidated. I think they've
I
maybe never
think
been
so.
with a woman like me, us, boss babes, and maybe they've been with a girl that's submissive and quiet and a yes girl, no opinions. Maybe that works for them.
Yeah.
But if you want to come to a boss babe, you need to kind of level up.
You
Yeah.
need to level up. And
and be
listen,
strong.
men are huge like control freaks. Want it or not, accept it or not. I want to, but we'll talk about that in another occasion. But men like to control things and situations because they want to be in charge, right? They want to be in charge. They want to be in control, right? They want to be in charge and they want to be in control. So what happens is when they get with a woman that has everything that you really don't need to provide to, they don't know what to do.
What
It's
do
so
you mean I
hard.
have to be loyal? What?
But why?
What I mean,
You
you
know
talk
why?
back. What do you mean you talk back?
What do you
Why,
mean?
Gabby?
You don't- you say no.
Because men need to feel needed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And when you are a woman that are independent and you have it figured out, they're like, where do I step in?
Exactly.
There's so many ways though to step in.
Honestly,
Yeah.
So many.
I have
I
to
think-
show the way sometimes. I
Yeah.
do agree on
Yeah.
that. When babe, help me with opening a jar. Give me that high thing. Whatever, little things
Yeah,
like that.
little
For me,
things.
I'm like, I like to be driven. So like,
Yeah.
if you can drive me around, like that's like, oh my god. But then also,
I like that too.
I felt that. I
A
felt
chauffeur or
that.
a boyfriend she wants.
chauffeur me. And
I
then
like to
also,
be fed, driven.
I like to be fed.
Wash my
And
hair.
feed me.
Yes.
Brush my hair.
Definitely.
I just want
Like,
I just
you
want
know
an
what I mean?
assistant.
No, but I think
Yeah.
that also, like, so we are in charge of a lot. We make so many decisions. We, like, have to be strong. And I think, to have somebody where you can go, like, kind of, to me personally, I feel like to have that person where I can kind of go, like, be like, you know,
So
me
me?
again, to be so like to be
Yeah.
feminine with.
Mhm.
That's my ideal.
I always
match.
attract feminine guys, not feminine guys, but guys where I'm like the tough one. So I'm like the one that is like
Right.
tough, and sometimes you need, as an entrepreneur, as a boss, baby, you need somebody
Oh,
that you
yes,
can
I
run
know.
to, and that you're like,
Yes.
that is my, like, you know, like
Yeah.
I want to be like I want to be
Exactly.
not me taking control every single time of every single situation. Like I do that every single day. So I
Yeah.
need a man that's like secure in himself. That
Yeah.
can be like, babe, I got you. You know, are
Yeah.
you stressed? I got it. You know, this,
Yeah.
like that. That
Yes.
is that too much to ask?
Or that lets you lets you vent, or it's like, no, I get it. You know, like
Yeah.
babies you. Like, I want to be a baby too.
But you know what? That also comes into play, having a lover and a friend in one.
Mm-hmm.
Like having that
Friendship
friendship,
is huge.
having that friendship
Yeah.
to me is like 80% of it.
Oh,
The love,
absolutely.
loyalty, you know, maybe good intimacy, that comes into play once that friendship is set in place.
Well, you
Absolutely.
can actually give an
Absolutely.
example,
Yeah,
right? Because
no.
you were so
We were friends for
with-
years. Like
Well,
he
tell
was-
them you've been married. You're married.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
For
We've
how
been married
long?
for almost 5 years.
Wow.
Mhm.
But we were friends before, like this comes to, so to wrap it up, I think challenges, we all can agree that supportive.
Mhm.
So you need to find someone who's supportive, that you can communicate, that you can trust, understanding, that they're not intimidated, secure. We can all agree on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when people come to me and they're like, okay, can you give me advice?
Mhm.
First of all, it's so hard to give advice because
Everybody's
relationships are
situation is
so
different.
different.
Yeah.
And you don't know what happened when the door's closed, what happens
Yeah.
at home. You really don't know. So you hear one side of the story and you
Mhm.
try to help, but you really don't know the truth.
Right.
But the two things that I can say that I've learned from my relationship is that we were friends before we got together.
Like really friends. So
Like
you
real
know
friends,
each other. Like,
We know each other very well. Like
Mhm.
even before we got married into the relationship. So he had a girlfriend, I had a boyfriend. Like there was nothing to hide. So we were ourselves 100%. And what happens to relationship nowadays? You meet somebody.
The representative.
Yeah, you
You meet the
someone
representative.
that looks amazing, but he could be pretending. People
Mhm.
They
pretend.
are.
People
Oh, like, oh.
pretend.
I
So
got punked the other day.
yeah.
So I was like, who is this person?
Right? No, and
I
people
don't
can
know.
pretend for a while. Like
Yes.
you're in a relationship for months, and then you move in together with that person, and then you
A
got
whole
married,
different
and then
person.
for how long you can pretend? Not for too long. So the true colors come out, and you're like, who's this person? Like you're not the person that I met 6 months, a year ago, because they pretended this whole time to get you to like them.
yeah.
And that was not the real person.
Yeah.
So being friends with somebody is so important because there's nothing I can like hide.
Hide.
He knows
Yeah.
my
You know
past.
what? But you
Yeah.
also took your time. Like
Yeah.
time is
Yes.
a big factor
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
Such a
You
big
know, it's
thing.
not like you friends for 2 months. Then no, it was like
Yeah.
years. And
Yeah.
I think us single women we kind of 1 month, 2, 3 months into it.
Yeah.
I think going forward, my next boyfriend, we're gonna be dating for like 8 months, and then you're my boyfriend almost.
Yeah.
There you
So
go,
we
yeah.
I got a little bit
Make
more.
him
of a-
work for it. It's not about
Wait.
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Make
Yes.
him work for it because let's see how much you can pretend, right?
Yeah.
If we date for 8 months, then we maybe move in together for a year, and then slowly because they're gonna get tired. If they really want it, they'll work for it.
Absolutely.
But if not, they're like, I'm
500
done
dates.
pretending. Like,
Right.
no.
I think
And I'm done
Yeah,
helping people,
separates.
honestly,
That
like, because I
separates.
know people, everybody has their own, like, issues that got going on, but you could tell when a person's really messed up, and, like, hurt people, and, you know, I've invested so much time, money, energy into bettering myself to be,
No way.
and go back and try to help somebody like that, you know, like, I want to meet somebody that's, like, there also, you know,
I
like,
saw a quote that said women are no longer rehabilitation centers for men.
right,
That's a good
I
one.
do not, I'm
That's
not a
powerful.
rehab.
Heal yourself, and then we can be together. Maybe we can heal the communities. 2 people healed in love. I mean, that's just a beautiful
Yes.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Work on yourself,
Non-toxic people.
Yes. We're
What
done
are
with
your-
the toxics.
Yeah, no more toxic.
Well, no,
So-
but one last thing on that topic is that, like, I feel like how, you know, advice for women is how a guy is at the beginning of the relationship is a representation of how he's going to be throughout your whole entire relationship. So if, like you were saying, there's red flags
No,
I don't
you
know.
I don't
Yeah,
agree
no,
with
no,
that.
That's
I don't agree
contradictory
with
because
that.
I don't know
so
that
there's
one.
I
big
don't agree
things.
with that.
Well, they're
Yeah.
talking about the investment
No, because
portion.
they
So
lie.
if they're
Look,
investing,
how many guys have gone out with that? Like they're like lay the carpet for you, this and that, because they want to trap you, and then they're not that.
They get
Yeah,
you to
they're
like
not
them,
that.
but
and
the
that's
thing is
it.
that you have to
Exactly what we're
gauge, like,
talking
you have to
about.
know that everybody's going to taper off at some point. So it's just you, that's why, like you're saying, make them work for it, like to see how hard they're going
Yeah.
to work for it. Don't just like sit there and watch. You have to see how hard
Yeah.
they're going to work for it, because when the stuff gets tough down the road, like years down, they're still probably going to work a little bit harder than the guy who you just were like, okay, yeah, like you're nice. Let's,
Yeah.
you know.
Standards. Yeah.
But it goes
So
back,
the-
it
yeah,
goes back
my-
to time.
Yeah,
My
time.
first thing that everyone, I will say, people pretend. So you need to get to know them, be your friend. Like, don't
Be
rush
real
it.
friends.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the second thing I will definitely say is people nowadays don't work on relationships. They move on really
That's a
fast.
good point.
So they're like, I can get somebody better. Like, I'll get the next one tomorrow. And
Swipe.
I'm sure you can. I mean, you're beautiful, you're independent, you have it all, but that's not the point, right? You need to work on your relationship. That grass is not always greener on the other side.
It's not-
Like,
yeah.
people don't like to work on their relationship. They're trying to find that perfect person, and we're not perfect. We're humans. We make mistakes. It's not like I said, like, he's going to cheat on you 20 times, and you're like, no, let's
But he
work
can
on
change.
it. But he can change. No, okay, there's a limit, right? But a lot of people are easy to move on to the next person without working on their
Right.
problems, the real problems.
But we're talking about a good, stable relationship that's not just somebody that you just met. Somebody.
No, but that is,
Yeah,
even in a
because-
stable relationship, because things can happen, and then people be like, it's one mistake, and they just give up. They're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
no.
Right.
And they're like, you know, there was a lot of where, like I said, she's married right now, 5 years. Like, one mistake, she cannot let it
Right.
destroy her whole marriage. But I think it goes back to communication,
Yeah.
you know, because if you do something that's not in alignment with your marriage, it's because you're not communicating something.
Exactly.
Right.
I think that too.
So it's a lack of something in
And
your
they're meant to be
relationship.
fresh too, though. I mean, you can communicate and be love, all of it. And sometimes they're just like they're just a little fresh.
They do,
Yeah.
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 but,
A little
man,
fresh.
you know, a woman, I think we're
Communicate
more of
that.
a
Let me
communication
If you're fresh,
partner.
Let me just see, like, let me just do that. I'm good though. I'm good though. You know.
But
I
no,
don't know.
but I think
Yeah.
that. But I
Some
want
men
just
are
to make
just
the clear distinction between like, let's say a girl like just met a guy and she's like thinking like I have to really work that hard at this. Like no. We're talking
no.
Not
about
working,
the stable
nothing.
relationships. If you just met a guy and there's a lot of work and,
Already
like, you
before
gotta
you
move
even
Oh,
started.
yeah.
Before
Move
you
on.
even
Yeah.
So
started.
I want to
Depending on the
I want to
package.
change the trajectory of where this
Yeah.
is going.
Yeah.
Like, what are some things that have worked for you?
Yeah,
in
we'll talk
past
about that too.
in relationships. Like, what are some like
Success
for
stories.
for the boss babes that are out there listening? Like, what things did work for you? You know, you're an entrepreneur, you're working, you're hustling, you're in a relationship, and things are going good. What are some of the things that you did to
A
like
supportive-
actually keep it?
First of
going?
all, I think for me, a supportive partner, you know, number one, that's gonna understand the line of work. What do you do? It's gonna support your dreams, and it's gonna actually help you, right? That's number one. Number two, somebody that communicates, because it's really hard to know when, like, a lot of guys, they just don't communicate, and then so you don't know what are you doing that is normal to you, that is actually something bad for them or like hurting them, or they're not just not telling you. I think communication is key. And third, I would say, making the time to work in your relationship.
Yeah.
Because you could be a boss and he can be a boss, but you still need to find time to spend your alone time together, you know, once a week, whatever it might be, a date night that you said, okay, Mondays we're going to do date night, or Saturdays we're going to do date night. Like, you need to have that time for you, not talk about business, it's just us, right? Like,
Yeah.
relationship-wise, enjoy your time, travel. I love traveling, so to me, having vacations with like my significant other, that just like bond, like, you know, makes me bond with him in a deeper level. So, you know,
Yeah, so my best relationship, I think the word to kind of choose to summarize it was acceptance. You know, he really accepted me, like flaws in the morning, ugly, like hair up, retainer, like
Yeah.
he thought I was beautiful. He just loved me. You know, that lasted about a couple of years, and it was the acceptance that he chose me every day, and he accepted all of me, not just the good, pretty Banna. It was the other Banna that's kind of bratty and annoying. You know, so it's really nice the acceptance part, and that came with us being such good friends.
Yeah.
He was like my best friend. We talk about everything, good things, bad things, highs, lows. So I think
Honesty.
my happiest relationship was probably that. It lasted a couple of years, but it didn't last because we just evolved differently. You kind of know when someone's just not for you at
Yeah.
the end.
Yeah.
You know, you were just chapter maybe 2
Yeah.
to 5, and maybe not that, but we still talked the other day, and we're still very grateful for each other. We even talk about those are part of the best years we've had. You know.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have that. It's nice. And we both
Totally.
learned a lot.
Totally.
Yeah.
For me, I think, you know, going back to what you guys were talking about with learning each other's love language. And
That's
I
a
think
good
what
one.
you were talking about was
Yes.
quality time, because
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
That's my
that
love language.
that's
too.
one of the things that has worked well for me is asking the
That's
questions
okay.
and getting to know how the other person interprets love. That way I understand, like, let's say, you know, they do like acts of
Service.
service.
Mhm.
And so they're doing a lot for me, and that's their way of telling me
That's
that
your
they
acts
love
of
me.
service.
Well, you don't
Driven,
really-
Yeah, so
Drives
you know,
me
and then maybe tell them, like, by the way, this is how. So
I perceive love.
but that's also then that goes back to communication.
That
So,
is
but that's
such
one
a
of the
good
things,
point. Thank you
yeah.
for mentioning that,
language.
because I'm
Yeah.
always asking everybody what's your love language. Because
Yeah.
even friendships, you know, it's good to know how you perceive love, because any relationship is good to know how, because you're doing something and showing me love a different way doesn't mean you don't love me.
Right.
You're just
Yeah.
doing it your way,
My
and
way.
I receive it a different way. So I'll tell you how I receive it, so you can work on that, and then I work on how
Right.
I show you love.
Because we want to.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. That's a
Right.
great.
Because
great
you can't
thing.
keep someone who doesn't want to be kept. That's
No.
another thing. So
There's
but
a
yeah,
test.
Well-
We'll put the link here so you can
Oh,
take,
yeah.
take
My
the
love
test
language-
for your
Take the
love
test.
language.
my love
Good
language
one.
is acts of service and then words of affirmation, like right there.
What's
What
your
about
love
you?
language?
Quality time and gifts.
Mine too.
It
too.
is.
Oh, that's why
By
she
the
gave you a
way,
little.
yeah.
That's why you
Anybody that
Oh,
knows
yeah.
us, anybody that knows us knows that we're basically the same person. We were born.
But I like to give gifts as well. It's not
Yeah.
just giving
But
gifts.
that's how you
Yeah. Me too.
interpret love, so that
You
you're
know?
showing her
Yeah,
love.
yeah.
And it's just
By
like
giving her
touching on the
gifts.
love language thing.
Yeah.
You can even apply that to work. Like, I hate to get off topic, but even what's your work language?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And once you start
Risk
thinking,
analysis.
and it's not just how you say something. Doesn't mean that's how they understand it. Perhaps that person's a list person, and you're just a words person. No, so then you make everything into lists. And same thing with with men in relationships or whoever you want to date. It's really important just to know how they perceive things and talking their love language, work language, friendship language, whatever. It's just
Yeah.
kind of seeing how they understand, and then you ultimately win in the end.
Yeah.
Yep.
My love
You
language is
understand.
also quality time, and gifts is the second one. We're born on the same day, so it probably has a lot to do with it.
So bad.
But yeah, that's
My
mine.
love
What is it?
language is touch and acts of service.
Okay,
Mine is act of service and quality time.
good. So see,
Yeah.
now you know our love
The
languages.
combination.
And
I
what
feel
what
like we all
has
have a
worked?
little bit of words of affirmation.
It
too.
tells your
You
success,
definitely
right?
have
I wanna
a
hear
little
your
bit of
success.
No, no.
Yeah.
I actually words of affirmation is my last,
Really?
because I don't really believe people on what they say. I'm like more of like
She's
show
already
me.
cocky, confident.
Yeah,
confident.
yeah.
No, like I'm like show me. You know, I don't care what you say. Like show me, because you could tell me every day, oh my god, but you don't do nothing to show that to me. It means nothing to me.
Yeah.
You're dead. So
Here's some makeup.
no, I'm just kidding. But what has worked on your relationship?
So for me, I think, well, the friendship part of it, definitely. Making them feel important, right? Because I feel like we pour so much time, into getting better at our business and
You need to
learning
be better at that.
and always.
Oh, it's like, damn.
We're all like,
It's true, right? It's not
It's
all about
true.
us.
But
Yeah.
it is not all about us. So taking
though
the
we wish.
time out to like make them feel special and like make them feel like you're you're
Yeah, you're thinking
Yeah.
about them and care for them.
yes.
I have it on my point, but it's the same but different. And I'll explain.
but
it.
that
So,
takes
and
a lot
then
out
it
of you
go-
too,
it-
so
it
it has to be
goes-
like somebody who's worth it.
Well, yeah, obviously, if you're in a
I mean, obviously,
relationship
if you're
with
dating,
someone,
Stephanie
Yeah,
said,
that's what
then-
works.
Obviously.
yeah. So just
That's what we're talking about, right?
Not dating.
So what?
I think that's important. Like separating the time to pour into your relationship to try to make them feel special, make them
Yep.
feel wanted, make them feel important
I agree.
for sure.
That's something I have to work on. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wrote down aside of working on the relationship because it happened to me before. I was like very easy to be like, okay, whatever. If you don't want to do it, somebody else will do it. So working on the relationship, I'm a true believer that people can change if they really love you and if they really want to be with you.
Key.
To make
Keyword: if they
Changes.
really love you,
And
they
want
will
to.
put the effort and think about, so do I want to be with this person or do I want to lose that person? So they'll make the changes if they
You
have
keep
to.
you keep saying that, and I'm like, I feel like people don't change.
Yeah, you know,
I do
some
think
people.
so.
I
It
think.
has-
Wait, there's
It
depending,
has to be. I
but
want to
depends on
change.
Yeah.
of what
It's
the
not
problem
like, 'cause
is
you're telling
too.
me to
I
change,
think
it's
when
'cause I want
somebody
to
loves
change.
somebody and they really want to work in their relationship, they're gonna make the
Efforts.
adjustments and the
They'll move-
efforts to
they'll
at
move
least
mountains.
try.
They'll
to-
move mountains.
Yeah.
Yes,
100%.
that's true.
So it depends on if the
100.
person really. That's why I said keyword. If the person really loves you, because
Exactly.
not everybody's gonna do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And if it's just a loss, and if it's just a here and there, and
Yeah.
it's not real love, they're not gonna change.
Exactly.
They're not
Yeah.
gonna do it.
They're not
They're
gonna
not
change.
gonna do it.
Yeah.
So
And
that-
that's the
easiest
key
filter.
difference.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, great.
Yep.
And that's how you know too if somebody really is telling you
Cares
like,
for you
the
because if
truth,
they love
right?
you, they're
Yeah.
gonna do a proper adjustments to
And
show
if they
you.
don't love
Yeah.
you, then
Not,
they're gonna
you're gonna
continue
see
treating
it.
the
They're gonna
same
show
way.
you.
Exactly.
You know.
So, from what you said about making them feel special, I will say I put here sacrifices, but it's
Good
not
one.
really a I mean, it
I don't
is,
like
but
that
it
one.
isn't.
A
Yeah, I don't like the word
Compromise.
compromising.
That's
Yes,
nice.
that's the word.
Compromising.
So for example, my husband loves like the UFC, right? That's his thing. He loves MMA. He loves jiu-jitsu. That's what he likes. For me, I was new to it. I was like, what is this? I don't like this. This is so
Nice.
boring.
Bloody, sweaty.
But now
guys.
I'm so into it. Like I will go to his fights and I will support him, and you know I'm involved in that now. When it's fight night, I'll go with the boys and watch
Yeah.
fight nights because he likes that, right? I don't love it, but I'm involved. I compromise.
And you
because
know
I
what?
want
That's
the same
really
back.
important when you're in a relationship because you could also be like, oh no, I don't like that. So you can go whatever, and that's how people start growing apart because you start doing things
Exactly.
separately.
Exactly.
You know,
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
I like it.
Totally.
Some great key
Great,
topics
great,
today.
great
We
key
covered
topics.
the whole spectrum.
And listen, we spilled all the beans. We gave you all of our real
Authentic.
insight, authentic
Authentic.
self. So that's why we had to take a shot because this is a tough one.
Yeah.
But we were honest.
But an important one, I think.
An important
Yeah.
one. So make sure if you're in your 20s also, enjoy your 20s. This is your time to be selfish, to accomplish your goals, to date, to really kill it with work. Because if you do that, by the time you're 30, you meet somebody, you eliminate so much process of like,
Finances.
yeah.
Finances.
So you get
owning
to
a house
pick.
maybe by then, you know.
Yeah, and one thing
All of
that
these
this is
things.
not part of dating a boss babe, but this is a really key thing.
Mm-hmm.
Know yourself, because if you don't know who you are and what you want, that person is obviously not gonna know, right?
Right.
Yep.
Know yourself
And love yourself.
Yes.
Hey!
Love yourself.
So don't rush into relationships and take
Yep.
your time
Yep,
in your
absolutely.
and to find yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we gave you guys some great insight, and I would like to end it with a quote. Okay, so here you go. Ambitious women really only have two options: a super supportive partner or no partner at all.
Good.
With that being said, we'll see you next
Boss
time.
babes, signing out.
Bye bye.